Dawson's Rambles.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder. In today's video, I wanted to talk about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always, one-ish year later. It just had its anniversary like a week or two, depending on when this goes up. I wanted to do a video talking about this just in a little bit of a freeform discussion, just talking about my little general thoughts on the quality, how it maybe could have been better to capitalize on some things, and more so about its memorability. Like, did it stick with you? How long did you think about it after it aired? And again, I wanted to do this closer to when it came out, but unfortunately, the week of its anniversary, I was sick, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to postpone this. And then when I started to think about doing this video, we got the news about Playmates with Power Rangers, and so I had to do a bunch of videos about that in terms of, and also, you know, the weekly Boom Boonger videos and whatnot. So anyway, that's enough excuses. No one even cares about this. Anyway, no one even cares about me, including me. Once and Always, you know, I did enjoy it. Obviously, I gave it a positive review. I did an everything I liked about it video. You know, I really did enjoy it. I had my problems here and there, but I thought it was pretty enjoyable for what it was, and I'm really glad we got it. I thought it was a really nice celebration of mmpr. I like that we got to highlight some of the cast members that usually don't. I mean, I know part of that was because we couldn't get back certain actors for various reasons, but it was really nice in particular to highlight someone like David Yost and Walter Jones, who I thought slipped into the roles nicely. You know, also because they couldn't get everybody back the way they wanted, but I really liked that we had kind of cast members from every generation, so that it highlighted kind of the mixed aspect of all three seasons of all three casts, where you had Rocky representing maybe season 2 and 3, and then Kat season 3. That was really cool. You get really nerdy fan servicey stuff, like the fact that she transformed with the pterodactyl coin. I appreciated that they actually tried to explain certain things, like they didn't have to, and PR often has plot holes in terms of their explanations, but they even went their way to explain, like, this is why we're using the dino coins, and they came up with probable reasons why the coins have been revived so long. And I like that even though it was MMPR focused, they acknowledged the other eras, paid little tributes to them. I thought that was really cool. It was just enjoyable overall. I really did like it for what it was as a fan. My main problem when I get down to it, you know, I had little nitpicks here and there, is I hate to be a Debbie Downer, even though my name's not Debbie. I wasn't a fan of Min. I think they could have gotten somebody better. I think she really dragged it down. I loved the concept of the character and the heart of the story being about Trini, you know, given the actress's passing. I thought that was really heartfelt and well done in many ways. But just the performance, it was, in a series with cringe performances, like, yeesh. You know, I think that could have been better. I think they hired her in part because she was a stunt actor, and that kind of goes into, like, do you want someone that's a stunt actor or an actor? I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of over the years more want them to hire better performers and then just train them to fight a little bit, so that you can have them in scenes where you better integrate it. Because I don't know, I'm more valuing the storytelling as I get older, so I would kind of prefer that. So I would kind of prefer they, in the future with whatever they do, hire better actors and then just kind of stunt train them a little bit like they do on other movies. Because that doesn't always take me out of it when you can tell it's a stunt actor. It is funny how often you can see in the Disney era in particular, they always do this thing when they're fighting, when they have a stunt actor. Like, you'll see Ethan being like, trust your power! But also, again, it won't ruin a story for me. Like, think about Buffy. I love Buffy. It does have some good fight scenes, but I wouldn't say it's known for its fight scenes. But you definitely notice when Buffy's stunt double all of a sudden becomes Lou Ferrigno Hulk, but it never took away from the story from me. Anyway, I'm getting away from the point. The point is, I think that was the weakest link for me. There were some little odds and ends there. The other thing was, in regards to a sort of weakest link before I get onto its sort of impact, was, you know, it was this weird mix where it was very much of the quality and feel of Neo Saban in a lot of ways in terms of the cheapness and cheesiness, but they also had this higher production value in other aspects. Like, in particular, a lot of the human scenes looked like they could have been left. You could have told me, like, hey, here's the scene of Billy and Zach discussing Trini's death. You could have said, this is from a Cobra Kai-esque reboot for PR, and I believe you. So it was this weird, odd mix, and, like, there was this weird mix of people that hated that, other people thought it was great, and the PR should always be cheesy. But I think there was a bit of a missed opportunity to maybe take your time with it. Obviously, it was a little bit rushed because it was sort of last minute in a way, not really, but you know what I mean. That they could have amped up the quality a little bit to be a little bit more of a balance, just so that when you had a lot more eyeballs on you, you had more people maybe appreciating the aesthetic or showing that the aesthetic can look a little bit better instead of making fun of it so much. And the thing is, it's not just about it looking cheesier and cheap and toku-y, but it's about the way it did, to be honest, because there was a couple cool fight scenes and stuff like Billy stabbing Rita, but other ones like the one outside of the juice bar in the rubble looked really bad, like fan filmy, which I hate to say. And I only bring that up because thinking about it, I was thinking about a while back, I don't know if they went viral, but I definitely see that some circling like the tweets that I follow, is there was several clips from older PR series that people were talking about the stunts. I think it was the civilian fight in Ninja Storm versus Dino Thunder. There was a couple Dino Thunder fights. There was some of the bike fights. And those hold up. I mean, they don't look as good as maybe some bigger Hollywood productions, but those hold up. It's like, you could have at least made it look like that, because I found a lot of people appreciating how good that looked for the context of what PR was. So it would have been nice to get something that looked more akin to that. But let's talk about its impact of like, was it a memorable event for you? I mean, obviously I do remember when it came out, I remember the hype, I remember getting excited to watch it, and I remember covering it. But to be honest with you, after the first few weeks, I kind of forgot about it. The next time I really thought about it was when Cosmic Fury came out, because there was the discussion of like, oh, when does it take place? And I still don't understand why people were so hung up on that. I can understand why people were confused, but the fact that people were like, this is just too confusing, like it was the time travel plot of Dark. I'm like, it's not that deep, guys. But anyway, that was the next time I thought about it, but only because I needed to be talking about Once and Always in reference to certain things for Cosmic Fury. No, wait. I thought about it a few weeks earlier when I was doing some theory videos about it and how it related to Once and Always. But after a few weeks, I kind of stopped thinking about it. And to be honest, outside of, you know, when I would mention it in a video or think about it for something or maybe see a post on Twitter or something, I haven't thought about it too much until I heard it was going to be the anniversary. Like, I haven't thought about it really at all. I haven't rewatched it since then. Again, not that I didn't enjoy it, but I feel like it came and went. To be honest, I feel like a lot of the PR events in the fandom came and went. And I'm curious, like, what are some of the bigger events in the Hasbro era that you remember? Like, obviously there's certain events overall that I remember distinctly from the course of the franchise, being the original movie, the 2017 movie. Dino Thunder was a big one for me. Even SPD, I remember the hype leading up to that. Once a Ranger, Forever Red. You know, there's certain ones that not only do I remember, like, this isn't necessarily about remembering it, because I remember Once and Always, but I remember super fondly. Like, I remember being excited about Once and Always and enjoying it, but I don't remember having the same level of hype and enjoyment and fondness when I look back on it than when I do of the SPD premiere, the Dino Thunder premiere, Once and Always, Once a Ranger, Forever Red even, and I'm not even that big of a Forever Red fan. And I'm trying to think about the more modern eras, like what are the most memorable moments. Like, I think Samurai's return was pretty memorable, like regardless of your feelings on the season. There definitely was a memorable kind of hype lead up to that. I very much distinctly remember Dino Charge because there was a lot of talk about it being like Disney era. If I remember right, that episode dropped a little bit early too. I feel like that episode dropped early and everyone got pre-hyped, and I found the toys at Toys R Us. Man, I remember those days, but I definitely remember that. Thinking about the Hasbro era, I think the most distinct and exciting era of it for me was actually Beast Morphers, which is why I wore this hoodie. Also because I like it, because I like Ghostbusters. Well, I do like Ghostbusters too. Who you gonna call? Winchesters! Anyway, shout out to anyone that gets that reference. I've got the mark of Cain. Same reference. What was I talking about? Ah, yes. Ghostbusters. That was the most memorable and exciting era of Hasbro that I remember, in terms of, I remember being so stoked about Beast Morphers because it was a new era. I love Ghostbusters. I love Go-Busters, and I was looking forward to seeing that. I remember it was like on early, but I got up, I got my coffee, I was wearing my Ghostbusters hoodie. That time I said it on purpose. No, I didn't, but I'm pretending I did. It's so easy to say. I think it's because Ghostbusters came out this year, and I like rewatched the other movies, and I've been on a Ghostbusters-ish kick. Anyway, I got distracted again. But I remember the hype for that, and especially the early hype of when they announced all the toys, and we had this plethora of new toys and figures and minifigures, and that's probably the era I remember most fondly. Like, I wound up kind of cooling on Beast Morphers as a series, but that's probably the fondest memory I have from the Hasbro era in terms of pure excitement and memorability. Outside of just me being utterly in shock that they bought it. Like, even we're now in this era where they're outletting to Playmates and things are a mess, I'm still in shock that Hasbro bought it. I remember that day distinctly because I was on my way to a D&D game and I had to stop and be late to record a video for it. So, yeah, the bottom line is even though I do remember Once and Always and remember it fondly, I feel like it just really didn't stick. Like, same thing with Cosmic Fury. I like Cosmic Fury too, but I just feel I don't remember it a lot, and I don't have a huge desire to rewatch it, to be honest. Like, even when the anniversary popped up and I'm like, oh, I should rewatch it before I do this video, you know, there's so many other things that I've had an urge to rewatch, like Forever Red, Once a Ranger, Ghostbusters, you know, Dino Thunder, Ninja Storm. I can't think of too many things in this era I've had a huge urge to rewatch. Honestly, I'm thinking about the overall modern era. The only things that I've had the urge to rewatch is the 2017 movie, Hyperforce, and then on a much lower tier, there's been times I'm like, watch Samurai, which I've rewatched like twice to see like, is there merits to it? Same thing with Dino Charge, but that wasn't like man, I really want to pop in Dino Charge. It was kind of like, or Samurai too. It was like, oh, let's see if it's better than I thought. But yeah, I'm curious what you guys thought. Did Once and Always have a bigger impact on you? Is it more of a fond memory for you, like for me with Once a Ranger? Have you rewatched it a lot since, or did it just kind of come and go for you? Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps, ring that bell to get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.